going to that point, I mean, the whole idea of terrorism. When you came to Peru, in Peru, there was the idea of terrorism, but when Rick and I wrote, I mean, we wrote about subversion, we wrote about rebels.
We never said terrorists.
Guerrillas. Now, after 9/11, and the whole idea of terrorism is ingrained in the minds, and anyone who's somewhat outside of the system is a terrorist. I mean,
I mean, once in analyzing that, since I grew up in the Cold War era, being a communist was the same as being a terrorist. It was as derogative, at least in the United States, from my understanding. I was also not a really politicized youth either. But I understood the word communist was about as negative as terrorist. So that's why I got to the point of sort of rationalizing. It's just semantics. I think some people understand it as with the negative connotation that, to me at least, terrorism means. But I think there are other people that just think it's a word. I think there is a certain... I used to feel this when I was in the Highlands, because people would say very naturally, so you're a terrorist, which is not the same thing as someone screaming to me on the street, Teruga! It's a very different connotation. So, and I think when that person would ask me that, he wasn't trying to offend me. He was just trying to depict what socially or not only judicially, but I'd say more socially, I would consider myself as. So that's why I got to the point I sort of just got used to it. I don't...
Codification.
Yeah, it's use of language. So.
But even today on Canal N and some of the other channels, immediately following the hearing and your statements, you were referred to by the announcers
as terrorist.
Well, emeterista, terrorista, the terrorista Lord Berenson.
Yeah.
Do you think that's going to be a scarlet letter branded forever? Or?
Yeah, I think that's why I'm remembering the Inquisition, actually. Heretic or whatever, whoever was the enemy at the time, Jew, heretic, I don't know. It won't go away. And I get, in my case, just because I'm so well known, it would be kind of hard to get rid of it anyway. I mean, I heard that. It was kind of disturbing this morning hearing, because I do think sometimes since I've been out, they try not to say it. They say acusada por terrorismo, sentenciada por terrorismo, and they don't say terrorist. However, it sometimes slips, and I certainly heard it was on RPP. The announcement at 6:30 in the morning was like, and the terrorist Lord Berenson is going to be brought. And I hear it more because of what Mr. Galindo said. Because Mr. Galindo said, I'm a danger to society. And he said, I'm a member of the MRTA doing dangerous things, and they're following me because I'm a dangerous person. Which is ludicrous. It is a lie, and it is an offense. And
He also said that any statement of repentance on your part is just a strategy. That's what he said after the hearing.
Yeah, I would say any statement on his behalf would be a strategy too. So I've been saying that I feel remorseful for my deeds for at least 10 years now, and they do not choose to hear it. I mean, I think there are words that are very hard. If you have it in your head that someone is bad, it's very hard to hear to the contrary. And he said, look, she was so hard. I mean, I am certain that had I cried there, they'd have said, look at those crocodile tears. So this is the kind of thing, I just think I'm up against a wall. And I've always been a very private person, although no one would believe that now in my life, but a very, very private person. So to me, opening myself emotionally to someone is not easy. As a personal thing, this is why she looks hard, but it's like, even if I had done it, I know they would be bashing me for doing it. So it's I feel like in a no way out situation where everything I do, because people have it in their heads, and it's because of the media and politics, just millions of reasons, but they've seen it in their head, she is guilty, and I will never be, and I think that has to do with the way the issue of political violence has been politicized more than sought out in its real size, with the intention of using it to resolve deep problems of the countries. It's just been politicized and used and rehashed and things.